Welcome to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where today's top influencers and entrepreneurs on the rise share empowering stories and ninja tips to become the fuel that ignites a positive change in your life. Our guests don't simply coast through life. They don't let difficult situations stop them. They set big goals, keep their eyes on the prize, and they're joining us today to share insider secrets you can use right now to step into your power and live your purpose. Now, here's your host, Christy Ruffino.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast. This is Christy Ruffino, and we are back again with another amazing guest. I should say a limitless guest, Felecia Etienne. Welcome, Felecia.
I am so excited, Christy, to be here with you, and thank you so much for welcoming me onto your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am glad that we're able to coordinate this time with you and your crazy schedule. And we're going to have a ton of fun. And I know I've gotten to know you quite well over the last, well, it hasn't quite been a year yet, but within the last year, we've had a lot of great conversations. I love your story. I love your passion. I love what your mission is in the world. And I want the audience to know a little bit about what that is. So I am going to take a moment to read a little bit about who you are. So Felecia Etienne has an MBA and is a certified high performance success coach and the founder and CEO of Level Up and Thrive Coaching and Consulting. Felecia helps overwhelmed and stressed out leaders maximize their time, energy, and productivity. With 2 decades of experience working with Fortune 500 global financial service companies, she has coached over 1,500 high-performance leaders, executives, and business owners. She's not stopping there. She has a big goal, like it's a crazy goal, and it is to empower 500,000, 500,000 women, which, why aren't we going to go for 1,000,000?
You know what? We got to start somewhere. We're going for a billion.
There you go. So her mission is to help these burnt out business owners, or I should say us burnt out business owners, reclaim their power while creating a profitable legacy. Her proven strategies, tools, and business acumen can help anyone level up their life or business on their own terms. I love that, on their own terms. Not a cookie cutter solution, is it?
No, we are all individual, we're all unique, and we get to do it our way.
Yay, I love that. I love that. So we met and I don't even know, how were we introduced initially? I don't even, that's not even coming to my brain.
We had a mutual friend that was also a certified success principal, certified presenter.
Yes.
And we worked together, and she was telling me about this massive opportunity she had meeting you and getting to share her story and how much she's loving the experience. And then she referred me to you. And that's the end of that story. It's just been going really well from there.
Yeah, I remember our first conversation. I was in my backyard. It's Chicago summer, so nice. I was working out in the yard, and you were sharing about your story and your experience and in your mission. And I remember where I was at the time, and I was just like, my thought was, I hope she says yes to be in this project, because I knew your story would add such value to our books. And now you're on our podcast, which is super fun. And now I have the opportunity to ask you to share your story or your big why. Why are you so passionate about this mission?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you again for the opportunity to share the story. And it's interesting that we're talking today, because I wasn't planning to be on the podcast so early. I was planning to do it later. But just when I look at everything that's happening in the world today, and I think about my message, I felt called to, get on the podcast earlier. And my message is, I thought I was just like a lot of these women out there, things are going well. I thought that was the ultimate badass, to be honest with you, right? I had that level of the ego going. And until I realized, when I got myself into the situation, I was traveling on business, and I went into preterm labor while I was traveling. in another state. And the reason when I lie in that hospital bed, Christy, without going into all the details, I just asked myself, how did I get here? And I realized, even though on the outside it looked like the perfect world, I had the house, I had the kids, I had the husband, I had the great job in the Fortune 500 that allowed me to travel all over the country. I was still trying to do everything for everyone else. And I was putting out this armor like I am so strong, but on the inside, I wasn't taking care of the things I needed to take care of. I was trying to be worthy of being in that role. I was trying to be the best mom I could. I was trying to do all these things. And at the end of it, I'm lying there and my life could be coming to an end. And for what? For what? Because of this persona that we all think we need to be as women. We need to be strong. And especially we're ambitious women. There's an extra load on our shoulders. Like, yeah, you have to step it up, right? Your best is not the best. There's another level. You just got to keep going. And that's why I'm passionate about helping women level up and thrive, but also while they're doing it, taking care of their whole self, owning the power that we all have, because it's not that we need anyone to give us the power. We have the power within us. It's up to us to know how to really take advantage of that and take it to the next level. So based on my experiences, I just take all of that and I bottle it up as a resource that I want to empower all women to just own the power that they already have within them and just continue to thrive while they're building their legacy and enjoying life as they go along.
So one of the things that came to my mind as you were sharing that, you're right, there's ambitious women, right? We have this internal power, this motivation that drives us, and it's strong. It's a force to reckon with. But when we put on that armor, that invisible armor, what it does is it kind of keeps that power inside ourselves, right? It's almost like this internal chaos happening because this power is just bottled up inside the armor. And so how do we like put the armor down so the power can like leave us and allow us to show up bigger in the world?
I think that's interesting because when we're going through difficult times or we're going through things and we know that the power that's within us and we think we need to show up a certain way, the number one thing I tell folks is we need to be present. And we need to really be intentional on what is the actions that we're taking now and how is that impacting how we're going to be able to show up. Like in my situation, I thought that I always had to, based on how I was raised, you gotta be stronger than anyone else. You gotta make sure you're on your A game. You can't afford to drop the ball. If you drop the ball, you don't get a second chance. So all that pressure was ready on my shoulders that I felt like everything I do had to be at a certain way, a certain level. So the first thing I would say for everyone is to develop a level of self-awareness of how are you feeling right now and understand that your feelings are valid. Whatever you're feeling, our feelings are meant to be felt and is meant for us to express. It's not meant for us to bottle inside and get it like to the point like you're like, oh my God, and when you explode and it's like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I didn't realize she was in so much pain because she was bottling it all up. So finding a way to really express yourself and developing a level of self-awareness is something I had to do. And I had to do it while relocating to Dallas with my severely premature baby. But it took time and it took others around me opening up to me and sharing things with me for me to see that I needed to really reevaluate and be present and be intentional with how I'm approaching things as I go along.
Yeah, that is so good. Now, reading your story and knowing a little bit more about your story than you shared with the audience, there was a time in the hospital where this self-awareness, where you had to be present and recognize what was going on around you. And it was with the things on the doors, right?
Oh yeah, I could share that. Yeah. I see where you're going with. I was trying to give the audience a little sneak peek. I was trying to save all the good stuff in the book, but hey.
Yeah. No, we're gonna get into the good stuff for sure. But I just want to get back to your story because it's incredible of what you went through. And like you said, you almost died. Your baby almost died. This was like a major time in your life.
It was a very significant time in my life. And when I say about the be present, I'm like jumping ahead. But the first thing is to gaining the perspective, because this happened when I was, imagine being away from your family because of, this life threatening situation. I'm in Dallas. My husband is in New York. My two kids, that's young at the time, all under the age of 10.
Yeah, you're traveling for business, correct?
Traveling on business.
Yep.
And now with my daughter, she's a micro preemie, 1.5 pounds. So we're going
Wow.
through the journey.
Wait, let's not gloss over that.
Oh, yes.
1.5 pounds.
1.5 pounds, yes.
How-
1.5 pounds.
And how many inches? Like, let's look at that a little bit more.
So I don't recall the exact
I got
inches.
it. But think
But
about what's 1.5 pounds, like an orange, right? Or something like so little.
From a perspective of your hand, she could fit in the center of my palm.
Yes.
You notice my hands are not large hands. So in a regular size hand, that's how long she was. She was very tiny.
Yeah.
And so we waiting. One thing I was anticipating and waiting, and I couldn't wait, was to hold her. So as you can imagine, you want to hold your baby and they want you to do skin to skin contact. So the day came, finally, I'll get to hold my precious little one. So they put her on my chest. And when they put her on my chest, I don't know what shifted. She was fully intubated at the time because she couldn't breathe on her own or any of that stuff. And all the machine just went crazy, Christine. The machine started going crazy. Her heartbeat dropped. They couldn't detect it. Now she stopped breathing. So they had to grab her away from me and start to do what they needed to do. So they pushed me into the hallway at this point. And when I was in the hallway, that's the first time the armor you talked about fell.
Yeah.
That's the first time it just shattered. And I was just in the hallway, just crying uncontrollably. They couldn't, and a nurse came up, and that's when the nurse had a conversation. And she helped me to shift my perspective, because she kind of shared with me, like, if you look down, I know you're going through something that's hard, but what you're going through is also a shared experience with everyone that's in this NICU right now, the intensive care right now. All these other parents also going through. And she also brought my awareness to the fact that there's white roses on the doors. And she's like, do you know what those white roses mean? And I was like crying, the nasty cry, snot nose, all that, right? Crying.
I can imagine.
Just visualize what this is. And she's like, that means that there's a baby that's no longer with us.
Wow.
When we lose a baby, we put up the white rose in remembrance of that child. And she said, sometimes you'll go in the room and you look through the window, the door, and you'll see a baby that looks perfect. But we're keeping it alive so the parents have a chance to spend with that baby.
Oh.
So when you think about that in our life, a lot of times we need to have perspective to see that what we're going through, it may be some of the worst thing, but there's always going to be other situation or other perspective to look at it from a different way. And that shifted me. I was still crying. I still had a chance to take that in, but it kind of put me at ease, because she also said she's tiny, but she has all her parts. Some of those babies don't have their parts. They don't
There's
have
no chance. Exactly.
There's no chance. There's nothing holding up. So it's important for all of us to just be present in the moment and know that the moment you're experiencing, it's for a reason. And you get to grow. Imagine what you have right now. You get to see your baby develop outside of you. You get to go through that whole experience, get that visible experience where a lot of folks don't have. So it's all about perspective. And just thinking about that, it always choked me up a little bit inside. Like,
I'm sure. I know.
But it's so important for all of us when we're going through something difficult. And I know there's so many things that's difficult out there. And the number one thing I would say, just to press it for everyone, if you're going through something right now, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to speak to a professional. It's okay to just reach out for someone, but also open yourself up to what is the things around you, what is different perspectives you can take, and open yourself up to the fact that the things you're experiencing is setting you up for your next level. It's setting you up for your next success. Because if I didn't go through the things I went through, I'm not the person I am right now. So that's what everything you go through, It's setting you up, but you gotta find a way to track it and document the stories that you're going through. That's why I love the project you did, Christy, because as I was writing my story, I was able to see it unfold and say, okay, this is the step one, this is the step two, this is the step three. Oh my God, this is when the shift happens. So when this is happening to you, don't shy away from it. Say, yeah, I'm aware this is not comfortable. This is a struggle. This hurts. But what is the next part? What's the next step around this? How can I see this a little differently? How can I shift it? How can I shift? How can I pivot? How, those are the things there that kind of opened up for me.
So that is like perfect because it really ties into my next question. And we're going to take a little break in a moment, but that experience, like you didn't grow up and be a NICU support person, right? Your story isn't directly related to your purpose now. It's indirectly related. And the experience set you up to know how you can best help your clients right now. And that's what we're going to talk about when we come back from our break. So do you mind hanging tight for a little bit? All right. Well, hold on, everybody. Come right back. Felecia is going to share her ninja tips. And I know she's got a really special gift she wants to share with our audience. So make sure you stay around. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by the Overcoming Mediocrity Project. Are you ready to share your story in a life-changing book with other success-driven women? Then what if you could use that book to get speaking gigs, podcast interviews, and possibly a new client or two? Wouldn't that be great? Well, watch out, chicken soup. Here comes Overcoming Mediocrity. Our proven system can transform your struggle story into a powerful signature message and then as one chapter in an Amazon best-selling book. Our process is simple and economical, and it will bring a lot of eyeballs on you, your business, and your big message to the world. We welcome you to apply to join our project. Just visit us at overcomingmediocrity.org and click on the apply button at the top of the page. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. This is Christy Ruffino, or I should just say Christy and Felecia. We're having a great conversation about perspective, leveling up, thriving. And I know Felecia has a great methodology that she uses to work with her clients. And I know I've been taking notes already, but we haven't even gotten into the juicy stuff. So that experience, your story, got you to shift your perspective and tell us what's next. Like how do you work with your clients? What are some ongoing steps that you can share with us?
So thank you so much again. Yeah, I'm enjoying the discussion so far. So what I do with my clients is the first thing is to gain clarity. Anything that we're working on to see where do we stand and to really identify what is your values, what's most important to you, like that why, like what is the story that you have. Once we understand what that story is, then we'll be able to see what is those shift that needs to happen in order for you to really own that shift or own that struggle or own your power. You have to identify what that is.
Right. Yeah. If we don't have clarity, then how are we going to change anything?
Exactly. So that's just high level, understand what your clarity is. That way you can be really, truly in alignment with that why and to be present with where you're trying to go to. So if your vision is to grow your company to 7 or 8 figures, what does that look like for you? Why is that important to you? Who is that helping you to do? So that way you're centered in your values, you're centered with what you want to do in your life.
So one of the things that I know about clarity that I've seen over and over with my clients and myself is it's not something that we can do on our own. We can never create clarity for ourselves, or maybe we can, but it takes so much longer. And it's such a frustrating process where somebody that's qualified, that has an outside perspective, can come in and see it perfectly. So I'm sure you see that all the time where your clients are struggling and they're like just so, at their wit's end, and you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, no, this is it. Simple.
No, you're so right. Because a lot of time we need that outside perspective, again, perspective,
Yeah.
to kind of help us to reflect. And being a certified high performance coach, I look at it in a full balance, for a balanced way for my clients to say, okay, what's important to you? Then I also think it's important for your audience to, no matter what you're going through, identify your non-negotiables, Christy. What are the things in your life that is done, no matter what, I'm going to do this because this is going to get me to where I need to get to. You talked about my very audacious goal to empower 500,000 entrepreneurs. The only way I can do that big, hairy, audacious goal is by influencing other people. So now if I help the clients I work with to own their mission, to own their power, and to go after their legacy by helping them with either a business strategy or something they can do within their organization that's going to move the needle, that's how I'm helping to influence and grow and empower those women. So I look at it as my legacy to help other women achieve their legacy and get their goals. And when they do that, we're all winning. And that's how we're going to get to the 1 zillion or 1 million or whatever number that is. So find out your non-negotiables. So homework for the audience.
Yep.
Decide what those non-negotiables are. For me, I have like one that comes on the top of my head every single day. I do a walk. I walk every morning. I go for a walk. And that is because I know personally, because of the things I've gone through, I need to clear my mind. I need to get clear in the morning. I need to be in nature and I need to be centered. And that allows me to be present. So identify what it is for yourself. My other non-negotiable is my kids. I'm building a legacy for my kids. So if I'm building a legacy for my kids, and then I look on my calendar and they're not scheduled in, or I don't have activities to spend time with them, or the ones I love, then I'm not in alignment. So therefore I can shift. But it starts with you being clear on what those non-negotiables are and taking the action that's needed on moving forward. So if I give the audience some more tips on this, I would say, number 3, pull the plug. What I mean by pull the plug, you identify what your non-negotiables are. You look at your calendar and your calendar is not fully in alignment. Pull the plug on the things that's no longer serving you. A lot of us are holding on to stories we had from childhood. We're holding on to that job where somebody didn't promote us. We're holding on to, oh my God, this happened with this person that I dated in the past. We've got to learn to pull the plug and center ourselves to say, what am I trying to build this legacy for? Or what am I trying to live my life for? Because the reality is, when we have fun in our life and we have joy, you have to enjoy it now. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but we all know we're headed the same place. And we don't want when we get there and it's like, oh my God, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. We don't want any regrets. So what that means is letting go, which can be hard. And I know I've been there, but slow down to let go and pull the plug on things that's no longer serving you. And like you said, you may need support doing this, because believe me, I have a lot of coaches that I've worked with as I was navigating through my journey that helped me kind of see what it is for me to do this. So you're going to want to do that for yourself. Identify what those things are. And I have a tool that's going to, ask some questions for yourself and it can help you to go down the path. But truly, truly get honest with yourself and think about the things and slowly but surely pull the plug on the things that's not working for you. And then I would just wrap it up with this. Girl, whoever's listening to, girl, guy, whoever you are, ride that wave. Life is going to come at you and it's going to bring you, there's going to be days that's going to be good days, and that all your sequences, like if you got a sequence, it all seems to be rolling into play. And there's going to be days when things are not, and that's okay. That's life. So being able to pull that plug, building your resilience and being able to navigate that by just tracking some things, asking yourself some daily questions, knowing your non-negotiables, you will be able to ride this wave and take yourself to success and build a legacy you're after. If you just really focus in on yourself, what's important and how we do this. Those are I give you some really high level stuff here, but I think it's so powerful. If you know how to really, truly ride your wave, you're going to build the level of resilience that you need in your professional life, your business life, whether you're just getting started or you're trying to take your business to the next level. We all need to be able to move and be agile as we move through life.
Yeah, it's that moment when you can let go of the struggle and then just really enjoy the ride, right? It makes such a difference.
No, it does. And have joy.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes when we're growing up, we used to have so much fun in our life, right? You want to go out
Yes.
there and you want to play and you just want to have, and when we get older, it's like where's the fun? Where's the joy? If something is not bringing you joy and not making you happy, it's okay to let it go. It doesn't mean forever, but in the season you're in, let it go and pick up something for the next season because you're trying to get to your next level. Every level, we all know this, is going to bring its own pain. It's going to bring its own struggle, but that's necessary for you to break through.
Right.
It's necessary for you to really move the needle.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that was so good. So I know you mentioned your free gift, and I had a chance to kind of take a peek at this last week when we were doing some things for the book. And it is your Level Up and Thrive Resilience Toolkit. You want to share a little bit about what that contains?
Sure. So the Resilient Toolkit it's a collection of tools. So it's not just one tool in there. I'm giving you some of the things that I used when I was navigating that difficult situation I shared with you, the story of being with my daughter. Some of the tools there, you're going to have a video where I walk you through what is some of the things you can do to build your resilience. And I also give you the tools that I use for reflection, for brain dumping. The tool I use to prioritize my time, to get my non-negotiables done, right? How do I identify my non-negotiables? So everything you need as an entrepreneur trying to grow your business, everything you need as that professional woman trying to scale the corporate ladder, the number one person and the number one tool is yourself. So this gives you the tools that's going to empower you to build your resilience and take your business, your life to the next level. So you just have everything that I personally use. I use in my clients. These are worksheets. You can type in it. You can, leverage it. It's like having your little personal coach on your left or right shoulder. You having that little coach.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's like a coach in the box. So I just want to gift it to your audience because I love the work you're doing and I know it's going to add value to your audience.
Oh my gosh. So is this going to be a great resource only for the corporate woman?
Oh no, this is a resource for all women, whether you're in the corporate
Good.
space or the entrepreneur space. It's for all women and some men as well. I mean, I'm just talking about it from a
Right.
women. But
Yeah,
it's for everyone. I think it's a really great tool. Like when I share it with
Perfect.
folks, people like, no, you're not giving this away. I'm like,
Yeah. So can I ask you, and I wanted to clarify that because I wanted to make sure, I know the majority of the women that you work with are corporate women, but I know you created this tool for the every woman person. The every woman person, that makes no sense, but you created this tool for all women so they can let down their false armor and level up and thrive.
Yeah.
So, and I know you're kind of doing things a little different in your business now, which I'm super excited for, right? What you're creating now with this big goal of helping 500,000 on your way to 1 million women be able to do this. So can you share really quick before we end, like who would be your ideal client? What are they struggling with? How are you able to help them kind of get to the other side with their struggles?
So I'm glad you were clarifying that there. So I'm going through a lot of transition, just like a lot of folks within my business. So now that I am a certified high performance coach, I have a program, Level Up and Thrive for Accelerator, the accelerator program for business accelerator, and I have a life accelerator. So I work with entrepreneurs and business owners, and I also work with corporate executives and individuals as well. So that just to give you and I work with women who are ambitious, who have goals that they're going after, but they know they want to do it in a very mindful way. They want to achieve their goals while they're enjoying their life, while they're being present, and as they go on the journey. So for folks that's looking for time management, they're looking to maximize their productivity. They're looking to reduce stress. So when I talk about it from a woman, maybe you're a little stressed out or feeling a little overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling like, there's actions I need to take, but what do I do next? How do I get to that next level? What does that look like? I'm trying to, from a business perspective, maybe I'm trying to, you need to onboard new individuals because I'm big on delegating. Like, how do you do that? How do you bring on a new member of your team? What does that look like? How do you systemize your business for success? But then also, how do you systemize your life? Because your life needs to be in alignment. It starts with you focusing on your life. Get your life, and then your life supports your business. Your life supports your career. It's not the opposite way, right? It starts with you. You are the center. You are the nucleus, right? So I start there. In all of my programs, we focus in on high performance, all the strategies of high performance as a certified high performance coach. But you get the benefit of the business acumen to kind of propel your business forward. And if it's your career, then propel your career forward. But I have divided it. So thank you for asking. I kind of put it apart a little bit because the strategies that you need from a business and an entrepreneurial perspective is a little different from what you need from a corporate and a professional perspective.
All right. Well, that's so good. I really appreciate you sharing the toolkit. I want to encourage everybody to connect with Felecia. At the very least, get a hold of her, ask her to sign a copy of her book and ship it to you. I know she would love to do that when it is done. We are looking to have that out very, very shortly. But this was so much fun and such a pleasure to have you on the show, Felecia. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to your audience for listening to this podcast, and just take advantage of the resources. And thank you, Christy, for all the work you do in empowering us and helping all of us to level up and thrive.
If you want to connect with Felecia and get her book and her free gift, the details will be in the show notes below. So feel free to please reach out. If you liked this episode, I encourage you, any notes that you had, share them with a friend, because not only will you be helping them, but you'll be retaining more about what you learned. So if you bullet pointed and you took notes on Felecia's strategies, absorb it, sit with it, take time to reflect on what you just learned and share it with somebody you know and care about. And finally, like Felecia said, if you love our show, please go to our whatever platform you're listening to it and share your comments, subscribe, give us a review. The more people we have that support our program, the more chances, or the better chance we have of continuing to get amazing guests like Felecia. So thanks, Felecia, and thanks everybody. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where we believe that everyone can have the business and life of their dreams once they've learned the art of mastering their story. Mastering our stories is the key to everything we want in life. Our stories can either hold us back or they can propel us to new heights. We can choose. You can choose. Choose to overcome mediocrity with us. Let's achieve greatness together. To learn more, visit www.overcomingmediocrity.org. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast.